An airplane is considered the safest mode of transport, yet even it hides its secrets, especially when it suddenly disappears without a trace, along with 239 people on board. This mysterious story began on March 8, 2014, with Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370. The large Boeing 777, flying from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, simply vanished into the night sky over the South China Sea and the Indian Ocean. Welcome to Paradoria. Enjoy the video. A routine daily flight. No alarms or unusual events before takeoff. Everything went as usual. The aircraft was fueled for nearly 8 hours of flight, with 239 people on board. The 53-year-old captain, Zahari Ahmad Shah, had more than 30 years of flying experience, a respected veteran who knew the Boeing 777 inside and out. His co-pilot, 27-year-old Fariq Abdul Hamid, was relatively young, but already an experienced pilot who had only recently been certified to fly the Boeing 777. The first hour of the flight went completely smoothly. At 17:41, the captain reported the altitude, 35,000 feet. The cruising altitude reached after takeoff. A few minutes later, Zahari repeated this information. Unusual, since controllers already knew the plane was cruising. Then the jet switched to Vietnamese air traffic control. Zahari said goodbye and heard the usual reply, "Good night." And right after that short exchange, complete silence. How could that be possible? On the ground, no one could believe their eyes. An aircraft equipped with hundreds of sensors and radar simply vanished. At first, no one paid attention, assuming it had just left the radar zone. But soon had the shocking realization. The jet disappeared while still within Malaysian airspace, never entering Vietnam's. In the first hours after the disappearance, there was no panic. Malaysian authorities suggested the plane was simply over Cambodia and not responding. Vietnamese controllers tried to contact it. No answer. Meanwhile, Malaysian Airlines told everyone the flight is proceeding as planned. Only around 2:00 a.m. did the truth emerge. MH370 had not arrived in Beijing at its scheduled time. About 2 hours later, the jet was officially declared missing. Search efforts began immediately, focusing first over the South China Sea, where the last contact occurred. Dozens of aircraft and ships from Malaysia, Vietnam, China, and the United States scoured the skies and waters, using sonar and radar. But 2 weeks of searching brought no results. Soon, the focus shifted. American and Asian military radar detected something incredible. MH370 had made a near 180-degree turn. The plane flew back across Malaysia, passed over southern Thailand, and around the island of Borneo. The flight now split into 2 parts. Before the transponder shut off, 40 minutes following the planned route, and another 6 hours flying along arc paths over the ocean. At the perfect moment, between Malaysian and Vietnamese airspace, someone manually disabled all communication and navigation systems. The sharp turn southward indicated that a human, not autopilot, was now in control. Search operations shifted to the southern Indian Ocean, but the ocean is vast. For months, planes and ships combed thousands of square kilometers. First the nearby waters, then farther south. Australian vessels joined with advanced equipment, hoping to find the black boxes. Scientists deployed deep-sea scanners capable of detecting underwater signals. Resources dwindled. Dozens of ships, hundreds of experts, and hundreds of millions of dollars. Yet year after year, no wreckage was found. No debris, no trace of the aircraft on the surface. A year and a half later came the first discovery. Workers on a small island in the Indian Ocean found a piece of airplane wing. The fragment bore a serial number. Experts confirmed it was part of the Boeing 777 from MH370. In the following years, ocean currents washed up more debris, but no human remains were ever recovered. There were no signs of fire or explosion. This only strengthened the theory that the disappearance was a deliberate act. So what caused the loss of MH370? Not fire, nor technical failure, nor a bomb. None of the standard scenarios fit. The emergency beacon never activated. It's known that someone manually turned off one transponder, and 40 seconds later, the entire communication system. Then the plane calmly followed a new course. The autopilot could not have made such a turn. Clearly, someone was at the controls. One major theory points to pilot involvement. Aviation has seen grim precedents. In 1999, an Egypt Air co-pilot deliberately crashed a plane bound for Canada, killing over 200 people. In 2015, a Germanwings pilot steered his jet into the Alps, killing 150. Pilots are human, and humans can commit crimes. The 2018 Malaysian report is filled with technical details but ultimately admits the cause remains unknown. However, it subtly acknowledges that the aircraft systems were manually disabled and the jet was flown from the cockpit, meaning someone intended to make MH370 disappear. Over time, many theories emerged. Some claim MH370 was shot down by the U.S. military near Diego Garcia and covered up. Some even believe secret technology was used to hijack the plane remotely. Yet none of these theories withstand scrutiny. Independent radar and satellite analyses confirm the aircraft's final path ended in the southern Indian Ocean. So what really happened? All evidence suggests the disappearance was no accident and that a human being was in control. The loss of contact and sudden southern turn were deliberate actions. Why and for what reason, we still don't know. The families of the passengers and the entire world remain without answers. MH370 remains one of the greatest mysteries in aviation history, a case still unsolved to this day. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts about this story in the comments. See you next time.